by chisel. And my 16 brush is the largest brush I have in my store. When it's crimped, I think it should be enough, big enough brush for everything, pretty much everything. Just let the powder dry up a little bit before I start moving it. Like that is the first layer. And then later on I'll go in and do my second layer. My second bead will be my cuticle bead. So make sure I shape the acrylic though. It's important to shape the acrylic. All DMs have been responded to for classes for San Jose, Denver, and Vegas. So you receive the DM, you have the information, deposit for your seat, and you're good. This is our second bead. Now remember, I'm not gonna try to drag this whole powder through there. I already did my first bead. I'm trying to leave as much behind as possible for the apex area. I do not want to remove too much. Just like that. Have a nice little structure there. I could do a little bit more apex there if I want to, but I don't think I need it. I think that's just enough foundation right there. And later on, I might put a little bit more just to flush the cuticles a little bit. Right here. Just to flush up the cuticle, just to fill in a little bit more. That's it. Not too much more powder there. Any spots I missed. First side of the day, so I'm just kind of get the hang of the powder and the temperature in my studio right now. But that should be enough for me. Okay. Hello, Jennifer. So I'm just gonna get a substantially larger bead here. Usually wait about 3 seconds with my monomer. Let it sit. I don't try to pull the powder too soon. You don't need to do that. Just wait. A lot of people just want to drag it down the whole nail. You want to make the powder go down evenly. So you gotta wait until it actually dries up a little bit before you can do that, okay? You don't want to just start dragging the powder down when it's wet, because then it'll be thin, thick, thin, thick. You don't have a lot of control. But once the powder is more al dente, you'll be able to mold it. See that? You can't shape the powder like this if you drag too soon. I like the ability to mold the powder like that. Get my shape in earlier with my acrylic brush. So I don't like shaping with the hand filer. I like making everything more crisp with the hand filer, but not shaping. I don't want to spend too much time shaping. It ruins my shape. Consistently trying to even out the application. Get off there. Remold it. Just like that. And just because your tip's not perfect, but once you have the powder like this, you'll be able to mold it. Here's my second bead. One, two, three. Now you can't do the second bead with your apex. Just do the cuticle bead, then put a bead, another bead up for the apex. Okay. It's very crucial. If you cannot control it, don't try to force it. You can always do it in 3 steps. Okay. I can add a little bit more. I dragged a little bit of the apex through the nail on accident, but it's okay. All I gotta do is pick up a smaller bead, place it right where I want it to be, push it up to the apex area, let it dry a little bit, and bring it down, blend it down. I have my apex. See that? You have a San Jose class? Yeah, San Jose. I made a jump to size 12 brush. Do you love it? Oh, nice, Giselle. Glad you love it. Let's see this. I still gotta clean my brush, my 16. I just got it back from the class. It's not properly clean yet. So I'm gonna jump right to, let's see what the 12 brush looks like. 14. 14? No 12?
One you don't have.
The one I don't have is a 12. Let's see the 14. This is the 14 in action. Because that 16 is what I just brought it back from class. I took it out of my backpack. I still gotta clean it a little bit. There you go. It's a little bit smaller than my other brush, but it still has, all the brushes when they're crimped, they're actually a little bit wider. So you can see I wait for the powder to get nice and medium. That's when I go in and work the powder. I never work the powder when it's too wet. That's the worst time to ever do it. A lot of people do that when they just try to swipe through and just drag the powder through when it's wet because they're scared. No, you don't. You control the powder and leave it sitting there. It'll consistently dry and it'll give you the ability to mold. You cannot shape, like, see how I'm shaping? I'm actually slowly molding and shaping this shape right now. See that? This color is 15B, OM 15B by Chisel. OM 15B by Chisel. Make sure the cuticles are nice and flush. First and foremost, that's the most important thing. There you go. Now I add my apex bead. I want you guys to watch this flatness, okay? Now I'm gonna add the apex bead. The apex is not really that hard as long as you know your application. That's why I really don't teach apex during my classes, because if you don't know how to do application, once you master your application, apex is a simplified, just adding more powder to the apex area. If you can't control your application, you know where you're gonna build a proper apex. And most of the time, if you do 2 bead correctly, you'll be building an apex anyways. See? That's all you need. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go again, same thing. When you do an application, just the same process over and over again, same steps. You're never changing it. 2 beading, 3 beading. And never drag the powder. See that? I'm just gonna fold it in, keep in the middle. Clean my brush, make sure I don't have any excess. And as the powder starts to dry, I'll start to move it slowly down the nail bed. It sounds still wet. I'm gonna still work slowly with it. Last thing I wanna do is drag it when it's too wet, and then it'll be thin here, thick there. A lot of work for me later, okay? Just like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This is the important bead. First thing you do is going to be controlling your cuticle area. Then you'll be dragging the rest of the powder through. Cuticle area is very important because you need to make sure the cuticle area is nice and flush. So anything you can add later. You don't have enough powder, add more later. See? Proper apex. It's big enough right here. See, I'm not dragging. Just fold it over. I don't want any excess over the sides. Just like that. Now do our apex bead. One, two, three. Just like that. So I'm not gonna drag. If I were to drag this powder when it was still more wet, it's gonna go all over the nail. But I wait. Now I add my apex bead to create a little bit more apex, more bulk right there. Just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Let the powder marble a little bit. Fits right there. Now you have to remember to push this up because you don't want it to be bulging right there, okay? Push it up. And just halfway down. There you go. One hand down. See that? Application. Take your time with application. It'll be worth it. What's the shape? Is this nail? This is a coffin. This is a 14 I'm using right now. I switched from my 16 to 14. Powder's getting a little murky. Instead of adding more into it, I'm just gonna put new liquid into it because the liquid is getting contaminated. So I only put like a little bit at a time. 15 to 30 milliliters at a time, so you don't waste a lot of the monomer. I threw away like maybe just a little bit of it, not that much. The contamination of the powder actually is very important to your beading and how your powder works, okay? This is my size 14 brush. It's a nice bead. Let the powder, see I'm shaping the acrylic? Even though my tip is not as coffin, I'm actually able to shape to make sure I mold the coffin in. Very important. Just like that. You've already got the shape down. Place it, nudge it forward. We're flushing the cuticle area first. That's the most important thing. There you guys go. I'm gonna put a little bit more powder here in the base of the nail so it kind of slopes better downward. A lot of the biggest issues is sometimes with the pinky is that this nail right here, this part right here gets a little bit thick and you leave a little bit of a gap down here. Fill that in, make sure it's even so later when you file it's like an even straight surface. You don't want to have any issues. There. Repeat the same step over and over. It's important to give your powder about 3 seconds to marbleize, which means that it'll let you know if it's going to be really runny or dry. Because if you don't do that, it's going to just flood all over the place, okay? A lot of you guys are going from acrylic right to the nail bed in less than half a second. There's no rush. Give some time. Let the powder know, hey, you know, when we running, hey, when we this and that. The powder will let you know. It's good to be able to know if you're gonna have to hold the bead a little bit longer, or you can just you know, go ahead and go through and apply it. It's only 3 seconds. It's not gonna matter. If the powder's gonna dry, it's not gonna dry too fast either. We're using EMA monomer, so it's gonna be a little bit runny. Medium setting, so we have plenty of time. Okay. So I'm just shaping the nail. It's gonna help me later on with my shaping process. And this is the bead, the main bead. Second bead. And I'm very, very cautious. Right through here. Okay. Very important, this cuticle area. And if I gotta put more apex, I just gotta put a tiny bit more. But as long as your cuticle area is flush, that will help you later on with the cuticle work and also your ability to keep your nail retention on longer. A lot of people don't understand that. Make sure it's nice and flush. It'll be less work for you later because there won't be a lot of acrylic near the cuticle area for you to drill. 1, 2, 3, watch. Look at the marble, see? Oh. It will let you know. And 30 seconds actually really, really important. Okay, so now my second bead. As we know, it's going to be my important bead. 1, 2, 3. Now. And you guys ask me how I don't flood my cuticles. That's how I don't. I don't place it onto the cuticle area. I place it before and I nudge it forward. Very important that you guys do that, okay? If those of you guys that are interested in classes, San Jose and Denver and Vegas are open for enrollment. They're all over half capacity, some more. Deposit to secure your seat. And also we have the next Tuesday we have Poochie's Nails joining me on Nail Talks After Dark. My little television show I like to have. Hope you guys can come and support that. It's fun. You get to talk about nail industry and products and all that stuff. And we'll be able to, have you guys ask questions. And Poochie's she's been in the industry for so long that a lot of you guys know who Poochie's Nails is, right? Good friend of mine. You guys see that? I made that mistake by dragging that powder too soon. You guys see that? Don't do that. I got a little bit rushed, right? I was like, I want to drag it. And you see that? It made it so much more work for me. All I had to do was wait a few seconds. Now I have to reshape the nail, bring in the sides, reshape the nail. And you guys want to see the importance of why I'm reshaping these nails while I'm doing this application. Later when I'm filing for my shape with my hand filer, it's going to be so fast. You guys are like, well, how did you do that so fast? I'm like, because I don't really rely on my hand file to shape. I'm shaping right now with my acrylic brush. It's important that my shape is very nice and crisp already. Nudge it up. Flush it. And I want to keep my powder where my apex area is, and I just want to drag partially down halfway. Clean it up. One, two, three. Sometimes we have like a dip in the nail here, because remember, this is a straight tip, so we have to really got to build it out. We got to make sure we check all angles, okay? That dip in the nail actually is important. You got to make sure you guys fill that in, and then make sure it will be less work for us later when we have to file and fill, okay? There you go. See the shape is already there. We're on our last hand right here. Last finger. Yes, definitely last hand and last finger. Let's place it down. This writing, so I'm gonna let it sit. But I won't let it go over the sides though. I'm gonna keep folding it back in. You'll start seeing it. Okay, it stopped moving, so now I can move the powder down slowly. See how much easier what that was compared to if I would just try to move it earlier. Just a lot more work, you know. I'd rather just wait for it. Give it a few seconds. Let the powder cook a little bit, okay? You don't gotta rush. It's got a little bit of acrylic right here. That's okay. See, that was still wet. I can still just pinch it right out. Make sure you take care of your brushes, okay? Now we just add a little bit of Apex and we're good to go. We're gonna go into shaping and hand filing and finishing off with the design. See? It's about that right, proper apex there. So, once again, let's see what the color, what this color was. I'm almost out of this color. OM15B. I'm clean my brush. When you clean your brush, you gotta feather through. You see that? You guys see that right there? Where it's stuck together? It means there's acrylic right here in this area. See? I just feather my finger through and I'll feel it. So all I gotta do is get a little bit more monomer, put more pressure in that area, push it out as much as I can. Right there. Right there. This spot right here. You can use your fingers and just slightly nudge it out. Don't pull it, okay? Just kind of just put light pressure. Remember, you have to do this before you set your brush down, okay? Because you let this tiny bits of acrylic seal up in there, it's gonna harden up and it's gonna make it worse for you later. Because you've been using your acrylic brush for so long, for the whole duration, it's still wet. So see, now it's feathered through. When you feather, this is what I mean when I say feathering through. You don't feel it sticking together, it means there's no more acrylic that's gonna be sticking together, holding the bristles together. As simple as how you prep your brushes. When you have one of my brushes, it's crimped this way, so you'll be able to form it, and it'll be able to stay in this shape. You have to train the brush to get it flat. It doesn't just automatically flatten out for you, okay? And I'll throw away the excess monomer. Then we go into shaping. For shaping, it's gonna be a lot easier, right? Because I already did for shaping. What can clients use to keep their nail beds healthy as trying not to do acrylic nails in general? Nothing really. You really don't know what can I do to remove acrylic nails. You can soak them in acetone, buff them, soak them, drop the beat. Yeah, it's my favorite part. Shaping is your favorite part. Yep, this is how fast the shaping goes. Okay. Just side to side. The shape should be ready to be there through your application. All you're doing is making it more crispier, okay? If you're spending more than 5 minutes or even 3-4 minutes on one nail shaping, you probably overshaped and your shape's probably not the same shape that you should have. So generally, quick couple strokes evenly on both sides to make sure that I have symmetrical shaping and give me the shape of my desire. And there you go. That's the shape. It's a nice coffin shape. And that's it. So it takes some fingers even faster than others, depending on the thickness of your nail. And everybody has all the biggest one. The biggest issue is I get always asked is shaping. And I honestly I teach application in a way that you don't have to shape that much. So hopefully I understand. Shaping you can show as many times as you can, but it takes time. You have to practice that at home. Hone that in, okay? You won't be able to shape just because you get shown how to shape. In class, when we teach that, we teach application. We make sure you guys understand application. Because shaping, you can always master eventually. But application is one of those hard things that people like, they try to make it up with shaping later. Application is so important that as long as you understand the application process, you'll be able to start shape one or your application, and then you'll be able to get great master shaping. 80% of the nail process is done through applications. So you definitely should focus on application first. Shaping is important, I truly tell you, but you see, I don't really shape that much. See, this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Probably less than a minute per finger. And you know, I stand by it. I see people provide shaping courses. I don't know. And it's important how you hold the hand filer and stuff like that, but as you can see, you already see me holding the hand filer. See? That took me less than 5 minutes to do. Because the application is there. I'm just gonna make sure all the nails are even. Put the client's hands out. Yeah, there's really no secret behind shaping, guys. Just like that. I would say fairly simple, right? Not really that much to it. How to lay acrylic perfect. Whoa. I stay in Orlando. Is it possible to pick up any parts instead of paying $6 shipping? Alexis, I don't know because my warehouse is it's not in usually a lot of stuff I ship out. I've only been shipping out stuff personally the last couple of days because I had to crimp the brushes. So they had the orders already put in there, and I just crimped the brushes and put it in there. Usually it's the warehouse. I don't know if they do pickup though. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe DM the store. DM the store and see what they say. Maybe they will bring it out to my shop. Maybe they'll have me bring it out to my shop. Maybe they'll bring it out to my shop and you can pick it up here, but I don't. You can do that. Ask the store. DM them. What can clients do to keep their nail strong? I just protein. How to lay acrylic perfectly. Whew, you know what? There's no such thing as laying acrylic perfect. Even how I lay my acrylic is not perfect. I don't think nails is one of those things where we can use the word perfection. We can use it subliminally to describe things. Cute, you know, is good, but nothing is perfect when it comes to nails. No one has ever laid nails perfect. It's always a work in progress. I get better every time. Some days I have a good time. Some days I have a worse time. You know, it depends on the day, your product, the temperature in your room. So many variables that can make acrylic not be perfect. But as a nail tech, you know, that's what we got to deal with every day, consistently learning and growing. So, there's no such thing as laying acrylic perfect. But you can lay it properly. I say proper as in technique. I'm learning proper techniques. That's what we teach in my classes. And we teach proper technique. If you can take that technique, remember it, consistently work on it, your application will get better and better and better over time. But it will never be perfect because I can never say that I'm perfect. I don't think anybody can actually say that they lay acrylic perfect. Right? Everybody agree? I'm in Orlando. I live in Ireland and I'm a beginner. I have really a cheap file, what would you recommend? A good quality in a long time. Daniela, I don't know if you're able to get access to Medicools or Koopas or something like that. They're a little bit more expensive, around $300 mark, but they're really good durable machines. So nice Medicool Pro Power 20K, a nice Koopa. Be what you're looking for. Oh, she's here already. Proper technique, I say okay. I love the word proper. All you have really at the end of the day when it comes to acrylic is technique. You teach technique. That's why in class, when I teach class and I see a student work, I'm like, hey, don't worry if you're struggling with the application. As long as I see you're doing the technique like where I do it, I know that when you go home, if you consistently do it like this, you're gonna get better and better. Aesthetics is one of those things where it can improve over time, but technique has to stay the same. And I stand by that, okay? You know, my techniques and my teaching style may be for some students, maybe not be for others. You know, that's why you're not even perfect when you teach classes. Everybody teaches differently. You may thrive on my technique. You may not. Maybe some other person. That's why you always gotta seek out continued education. Taking a class is not one time, one deal. Oh, I'm gonna take a class and boom, I'm great. A lot of people do go to nail school for thousands of dollars. They leave. They don't know how to do nails. You have to seek for further education to be better and better. The nail industry is not gonna stay wait for anybody. It's consistently growing. There's new techniques. There's sometimes I have to go out and learn new stuff too myself, new products and such. Nails ain't easy, y'all. People think coming to this industry, it's like, oh, everybody's friendly. No, it isn't. It's tough, rough. All we're just trying to produce as much content as possible for everybody to enjoy. And just a little bit shorter on this one. Sometimes your thickness of your application will affect the shape just a tiny little bit, the length a little bit. So we gotta make sure we put it towards our face and be able to look at it and reshape. And as you can see, nice, consistent shaping, very quick. So now I'm gonna go through and do some little bit of hand filing just to speed it up. I can use a drill if I want, but I'll use my drill later for my cuticle work. I'm gonna hand file real quick just to get rid of it. Since my application is very smooth, I don't really want to use a drill bit and accidentally drill into it. So if hand file will be able to give me more control, as in like I won't be as harsh with the nail base, so I won't drill into it too much, okay? That's the importance of hand filing. Oop. I'm still gonna use my drill when I go in there though. Still gonna use my drill because I use my drill for my cuticle area. What's up, Shawnee? How are you? So true. I paid $11K for school, and I still have no payout from pocket private classes. Get better at doing that. That's what she's. See. There you go. It's quick hand filing. Later I go through drill with my drill. The surface area will be smooth enough for me to just go right through it without any worries. So when you're using the whole emery board, it's a whole smooth surface on top. A lot of people request me to hand file, so okay, fine, I'll do it. But I still recommend always using the e-file for when you do cuticle work. Only hand file when you have minimal bulk and thickness. Just very, very quick way to get through. See? Look at that. Do you have a video on removing and prepping? Like, I take like an hour. Removing and prepping. If you're moving acrylic, sometimes it does take long. It takes 30 minutes to remove. Soaking and, you know, like that. An hour, I see people take an hour. I take about 25, 20 minutes to remove. I make sure that I wrap the nails or soak the nails and drill, and repeat. I mean, removing acrylic is one of those things, you know. It does take a while. It's not something that you can speed up unless you want to get one of those coarse drills and just really drill into it. That's very, very dangerous. But having a coarse or something, a drill bit, to drill into the acrylic a little bit better. See that dip I said earlier? It's right here. But since I filled it in, then it'll be minimal. I do recommend if you want to remove acrylic though, drill down as much as you can, okay? Top coat, drill down as much acrylic as you can. Get as thin as possible with the drill, then soak the nails or wrap the nails. It gives you the ability to, you know, it'll be easier for you. So I do recommend that. Sometimes your acrylic too thick, you want to drill down as much as possible with the drill first. You don't want to drill all the way into the natural nail though. So almost done here, and I'm gonna do the cuticle work. I'm gonna buff, do some black French designs, and we're good to go. Let's go. Let's see. Structure. Everything's the same. Now we simply just, I'm gonna use my drill bit. This is my fine. Where is it at? There it is. This is my fine. I have in a medium also. It's a sharp 5-in-1 bit. This is what I'm gonna use to go into the cuticle area. and flush my cuticle area. Make sure I don't get any lifts. Why not use a drill instead of filing so much? The hand file gives me the ability to not drill too much into the nail, and also it's actually quicker for longer nails sometimes. A lot of viewers request me to do hand filing, so I also include hand filing in my videos just for the sake of hand filing. The drill is good, but you understand, this drill is metal, it's sharp, so if my application is smooth, I might drill into it, and I might actually cause dips and divots by accident, and they'll make me have to thin it out. With the hand filer, I won't be prone to doing that as much. It's actually a little bit quicker too. I'll still go back through the drill always with my cuticle work. This is very important when you do cuticle work. It flushes the cuticle area. Make sure you don't get any lifts. The hand file grit is 100 by 100. Hey Disha, how are you? Thank you. Frieza, I don't cap the nail. The clear is not sturdy enough. Jania, if you're saying that, that means that whatever powder you're using requires you to cap. This powder does not require me to cap at all, okay? This powder is a core powder. It's mixed so it's strong. Some powders are pigmented, so it's not as strong because there's not a lot of acrylic in it. That's why you're required to cap it, okay? So based on your powder, what product you're using, that also plays a big factor in that. I don't like capping acrylic, especially color acrylic. I don't have the time for that. So I make sure that whatever powder I'm using requires me not to have to cap every time. This gives me the ability to go in the cuticle area, flush it nice and easy. Remember, this part is mainly for the cuticles. Everything we did is already here, it's already smooth. I can actually just go through and just, see that? Simply smooth it out a little bit more, that's it. There's no resistance because I already used my hand filer. So I'm just smoothing it out later on for me to buff very fast, see? Don't have any excess. You can go back through with a fine sandpaper if you want to too, but I don't really need to. I'm gonna use a nice buffer and I'm just gonna buff the living daylights out of it. Spend a little more time with this because this is my first finger that I did, so the application was a little wonky. So I'm gonna fix up certain things, make sure everything's nice and smooth, but everything else should be nice and quick. Let's go through the cuticle area. I left behind some cuticles just in case for this part. See, I'm moving it right now. I don't really generally clip the cuticle area unless I really have to. A small amount of cuticles is fine because when I do my drill work, it leaves me a little bit of a room, breathing room, to be able to just go through and smooth everything out. This area is where I couldn't get with the hand filer because it's the apex right here. So that's why when I use my drill, I'm able to cover up this area, smooth this area out. You can't hand file into this cuticle area to make it smooth, so that's why it's really important to be able to use the cuticle, the drill. This is where the lifts come from, guys. When the nail starts growing out, it'll lift from here. So when you flush this in, it won't give it any, excess. Sometimes when the acrylic's stuck to the skin or it's just sticking up, it has excess, so it's wear and tear. It'll start lifting and it'll pop off your nail. But once you flush it down, it'll grow out really nice without any lifting. If you have some minimal lifting, that's only after a couple of weeks or a month. If you do proper cuticle work, really, cuticle work saves lives, saves nails. See that? No resistance. I'm just throwing it down just to smooth it out because I used my hand file already. Russian manicure? No, yeah, no. I don't, Russian manicures are completely different. You guys can remember, they do nails differently. We can't do Russian manicures. That's crazy. I'm scared of that. That's the best way to put stones, designs not all over the place, if you know what I mean. I honestly recommend, for me, I just go online and look at pictures of people with their stone placements and I stick screenshots. Because a lot of times you guys, when you guys are doing stones, you guys are just trying to freestyle. If you don't know how to put stone placement, you can't really freestyle. So you got to really replicate and mimic other people's style, and you know they have to get it from someone too. Eventually, you're gonna realize that stone placement is less is more. A lot of times you guys are going way too crazy with the stones. You need to be able to slow down. Less is more, okay? Now everybody wants to be blinked out, as in like everything on there. There's a place for the stones. There's the shape, the size, for the finger, how much you do. It matters. If you do too much stone sometimes, it can ruin your whole design or your whole set. It might be too loud. See that? I could use my drill earlier, but then I had a lot of problems drilling this. This makes me give me the ability to go right through it really fast. See that excess cuticle? I'm just gonna remove it right now during my cuticle work. 100 and 180 is good for hand filing also. Yeah, 100 is good. 180 is also good. It's a nice buffing hand filer. A lot of people use it. I like it. I've used it before. I love how to do short. I would love how to do short nails. Oh, short neat nails are really easy. You just gotta control. Hey, Diane, you gotta control how much powder you use. That's all. Yep, you can get templates off the internet. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I did that. I used to screenshot templates off the internet all the time and just sit there and practice laying stones or placing the stones. That's how I was able to, you know, start off my creativity. Now I can just freestyle. Cause I kind of have the idea in my mind already, so I don't have to like worry about overdoing it. Just gonna clean out some sides, make sure all my sides are clean. See that? The shape's still there. Everything's nice and crisp. My cuticle work is very quick because I didn't flood my cuticles or, you know, put too much acrylic by my cuticles. I'm able to go through my cuticle area and just get right through it. Just like that. Okay. Look at that shape. The shape stays. It stays, y'all. There it is. One hand down. Nothing about this is really that complicated. It's just, you gotta follow the steps, routine, techniques. I'm using the same techniques, same steps I've done every set I do. Every set I do the same thing over and over. Once you have that repetition, you got it down. There you go. You see how much easier it is? That's why I would do the hand filer first. It's so smooth already, so my drill bit just goes through and smooths everything out. Lay down on a buff, it'll be nice and even surface. And really just focus on my cuticle work right here. Make sure everything's flushed in. Here, I'll zoom in for you guys a little bit here. Just see what I mean. That's what I mean. If you flush the cuticles just nice, you will never have lifting, I promise you guys. I stand by it. Cuticle work is very important. Smooth it out. That. Remember, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my drill either. My drill is really just running very, like just the weight of my handle on top of this. The more pressure you put down, the more you're gonna drill into it. You don't want that, okay? Light pressure, just enough. Your acrylic's not thick, it's not bulging out, then you don't need to put that much pressure. Look, it's just how I'm holding it. Very light pressure. I already hand filed, so everything's nice and smooth. It's just gonna run over, it's gonna smooth everything out. And you wanna ask how to speed up your sets? This is how you speed up your sets. The work I put in right here is very minimal compared to the time I spent with my application to make sure that when I do this part right here, it's gonna be very easy for me because my application makes up for it. You know, I didn't flood the cuticles, I didn't not too bulky, you know, less work. I just go through, in and out, and done. A lot of people spend hours drilling. No, you don't want to do that. One minute per finger at best. See? And we're about to finish, and we're gonna buff, have her wash her hand, and then we'll do the black French. Okay. So it's buff. Woo! Sorry, guys. Connection issues there. Like I was saying, if you have any issues, if you have any excess cuticles, now is the time for you to go back through and clip them if you want. But there you guys go. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put that one down. There you guys go. Wash your hands. You go through with a sanding band too if you want. Ooh, I gotta change glove because when I do designs. Yep, that's my 5-in-1 sharp. Thank you for the stars. Chanel blessings. Now that I'm having a bit of trouble with my application. When I put the bead on, it doesn't cover the, when I put the bead on and it's not enough to cover the whole nail, I let it come down, pat and shape. What do you think I need? A bigger brush? I have a 10-12 kind of. Also the temperature room is off. Overall, I cannot wait to get one of your classes coming up. I'm coming to one of them. Which one are you going to, Miss Chanel? If you are not having a big enough bead, it's not because of the size of your bead. It's basically your ratio and how long you have to remember, when you put your acrylic brush into the powder, the longer you hold it there, the more that's going to bring up a big bead. A lot of times you guys are just dipping the acrylic into there and you guys are lifting up really quick. So you're not giving it time to pick up a big bead. So picking up beads is very important too. Sometimes during my classes, I actually make the student sit there and pick up beads. so that she can be able to master the beading process. But, I do recommend you just practice picking up beads. I have a video on YouTube, how to pick up beads. You can try, you can definitely try that if that helps for you. It's called liquid to powder ratio. It's very, very, very informative. So I'm gonna use this black from my new black gel art. It's very pretty. And it's very good, very easy to use also to do these French. Sometimes I like to clean my brush with monomer. I have a little bit of monomer I'm soaking out brush right now. The monomer won't damage the brush as much as acetone, okay? And look at this, guys. Look at that. Structure. You can't go around with that. This is my black. I'm gonna take this brush out too. I want a brush to be able to paint it also. This is gel art paint. This is not regular gel polish. So it's a little bit different. I'm gonna use my flat brush to paint in any excess. Look how smooth this is. This black is very formulated really well. It's very smooth, and it's one coat, one pigment. You don't have to worry about this. You see that? Keeps the shape. I'm just gonna go back through and just finish out these edges, spots that I can't get out. There you go. These are not polished. I know it's not the product because I chose to buy not polished because yeah, not polished is actually pretty good. I think it's just your liquid to powder ratio. You gotta work on how to pick up the beads and basically when to put the beads up. You may not have enough. What liquid are you using with it though? Thank you, Miss Nora. How long does your shipping to California take? Order the gel paint, but need it by next. I need to order gel paint, but I need it by next weekend. If you order now, it should be shipped by this weekend. It ships within 2 days. As long as you put UPS, because USPS doesn't ship on the weekends. UPS, and then you should get it by next weekend for sure. We don't take long to ship out. Our ship out day is probably within the day, so UPS will get there in 3 to 5. I love this black gel paint, guys. It's like the go-to right now. Those of you guys that like to do line work and all that and such, oof. It's just a nice, look at that consistency. That's just sexy right there. Like, I reformulated this black gel paint and the white one. You don't lose the shape. Look at the shape. Just like that. And we're just gonna bring in like the liner brush, just clean up all these edges. This is my liner art brush. It's a 20 millimeter I'm using right now. The other end of this is a 10 millimeter. And what I'm doing right now is deep French. This French goes all the way up. That's why they call it deep French. All the way up here. This one, the powder is what powder is this? OM15B. When? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna let it cure. And I'll repeat throughout the whole process, okay? Same thing I did each and every nail. This will be quicker because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Just drawing out the framework of this deep French before I go in and paste it in. And I use my oval 3D brush and I'm painting. So I'm not gonna have to use my liner brush to do that. It's gonna take me too long, right? With this black, I'm telling you, it's the truth. Don't lose the shape, nice pigment. Remember, we can only go through with this brush with so much. All these nice corners right here, we're gonna go back there with the liner brush, okay? Ah! I did a boo-boo there. Means I gotta go through and clear that out. You guys see that? I did a boo-boo. It's okay, I can use my acetone to clean that out. You see, you don't really need a lot of this paint. Very minimal. Because it's very pigmented. It's gel art paint, not gel polish. Gel polish, you probably won't be able to get this coat like this. So I'm going to clean this. And I'm gonna try to go through and fix this. Just like that. Okay. Let's finish up here. Add some floral, some flowers. Every time. I always get ink on my elbows and I go in the car and I mean paint on my elbows. I go in the car and put it on my armrest and it's like, my wife's like, why is there paint all over the car? It's like, I don't know where that came from. Then I realized, oh.
You painted yourself.
That I do. Just take your time, guys. This is very intricate work. You cannot rush this. You rush this, it's not gonna look good. especially when you're doing this stuff. Yes, you can do this with powder, but this way you can actually fill it for your clients, like they can just. Just gonna go through and paste this through a little bit more, give it more definition. Then we're gonna finish up with this thumb here. And we're gonna cure this thumb, and I'm gonna do the design real quick. I use the same gel art paint to do the design, the flowers. We're gonna have a little bit of a, kind of like a orange floral flower on here. Just on 2 fingers. Okay, go ahead. Before I do this, I'm gonna matte, give myself a nice surface. That's my matte top coat. My matte top coat. Huh? Ah, here it is. It's my matte top coat. I'm gonna give it a nice thin coat of matte, and then I'm gonna put some flowers on here. Very thin coat. You don't want it too thick, okay? You don't want to lose your shape. What this matte does is it protects the paint. It gives me a smooth surface to do my design. Because the paint is very, very, very shiny, very smooth. Some nice matte here. My matte and top are the shit. You guys get to see both of them in action here. Very thin coat. I don't want to lose my shape. If you get a little bit excess on the side, just wipe with your finger. Should be good. Go ahead. I always matte when I do like gel art paint that's shiny, just to protect the paint first. Then I can put top coat on top of the matte. Take it out. Look at that matte top coat though, guys. Woo, child. I use my Nail Dad black paint. So now I'm gonna use my white. And I'll put some flower petals in. First with white, then I'll put some two-tone. Let's see something real quick. I think I have an inspo. Come on, Giselle. Alright, it's loading, guys, sorry. I'm just gonna use this nice papaya for my color set. This is this is on sale right now. I'm gonna use this one here. Corally. My messenger's freaking up. Where is she at? Sorry guys, I'm kind of brain fart right now. I'm trying to look for somebody. There it is. Boom. Some reasons white. I'm gonna redo this real quick. Because I messed it up a little bit. I made the pedals too big. 1 second, guys. That's why you put the mat on. You see that? If you mess up, simple, easy. I have to tilt our hand a little bit. See that? Why we put the mat top coat on? This is an inspo by one of someone I sent on my gel art to, and she did this set and she won the competition. She won the competition in Spain using my gel art. So I'm gonna try to do an inspo by her right here. Okay. I don't know why. I feel like, oh, her shape is stiletto. That's why. Okay, one more time. I say at first you don't succeed. It takes the third attempt's always the one. Her shape is stiletto. That's why I had to make it more vivid to bring it out more. Nothing's perfect, guys. Even though you try to, even for me, you see that? If I take 3 tries, imagine people don't get discouraged when you take 4 or 5 tries, right? Okay. Go in. Turn that side. Okay. Add a little bit of coral to this. We haven't even opened this yet. Okay, a little more pigment here. Okay. Gonna switch. Don't do that too much. I did that wrong. Need another coat of this peach. There you go. Okay. Now let's go add some stones. The heck? Okay, good. These are silver bullion beads. You can get these on Amazon. They're pretty, but they're hard as hell to work with. Is Matt out there waiting?
Maybe you want me to ask him to come in?
No, just let him know whenever he's finished with the brush. Let me know so I can probably schedule a time to go pick it up.
Okay.
Cause I want to bring it to Atlanta with me
When are you going to Atlanta?
next Saturday,
Okay.
next Sunday. Should be plenty of time.
So he's got a week, yeah, this week.
We already got the mold done, so. Here you go ahead. Now we're gonna top coat because she's infamously known for making her matte blue. So I'm gonna use my top coat. Very thin. Oh my god, my client's been waiting out there. Ah. Alright guys, I gotta hop on out because my client's been waiting. I forgot. She's like 30 minutes late for her appointment. I didn't know you were getting a pedicure today.
I'm already done.
And I didn't know you were getting one, that's why.
Oh.
I scheduled her right after. What?
Yeah, your girl was like, I'll take your nails off while I
Switch.
get a
No, she's
pedicure.
getting a fill. And there's the top coat, guys. The top was actually really, really shiny. I gotta hop out, guys. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. A little bit of flour. And she's wearing a orange and black